Today, the Las Vegas police finally released the Tupac files, which led to a viral tweet reading, "Is anyone gonna mention how Snoop Dogg could have stopped Tupac from passing? These new files coming out is upsetting, knowing Tupac should still be alive." As after 20 years, the Tupac files were released today. Even Fozzy and Love said Snoop Dogg could have stopped it from happening.
I always felt on Pac, it was because Snoop could have stopped that whole thing. I mean, because like I said, Snoop was a Crip. Pac offended some Crips. Doing some gay, some dumb. Really. It was set off a whole chain of events. You know, in LA don't get mad, they get even. So, you want a real Pac story? That's my Pac story. Pac would be alive today if he had stayed allies with Snoop and not cross Snoop.
As Snoop Dogg got connected to Tupac's passing through Suge Knight, the new police record reads, "Detective Russell Poole suspected Suge Knight arranged Tupac's passing before he could exit the label. Then he framed the rival Crips to throw off the investigators." This raises a question of who is a famous Crip gang member that Suge Knight would want to pin Tupac's passing on. The most famous in the entire world is Snoop Dogg. His file is so interesting when you learn that he was supposed to be in the BMW with Tupac on the night that he sadly passed.
You were with Tupac, though. In regards to Tupac, I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
As the police were able to find another interview from Snoop Dogg where he reveals that 2 days before Tupac passed, he felt like Tupac hated him.
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York.
Oh, yeah.
And it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like that. I want to do some music with him. And that just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to me out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with him. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
With the feeling that Tupac didn't like him anymore, Snoop Dogg mentioned that he didn't get in the BMW. Last minute changes, he decided to just not go. This was likely due to an altercation Snoop Dogg had with Tupac and Suge Knight on a private jet.
The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me, how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to, prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
As with all of this happening within 72 hours of Tupac's passing, it made the police very suspicious. 2 decades ago, Snoop was heavily tapped into the streets. Some speculate Snoop could have received a tip that Tupac was going to be targeted on that night, so he avoided on getting in that car. But others believe he got news that Tupac was a Fed. As an officer would reveal, Tupac was an industry plant with a job of stopping the beef between the red and the blue street teams, which Snoop Dogg was in.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Mutulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the and the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
But here's where it gets even crazier. The investigation on these new files makes it very obvious this was a rap industry hit. The news wrote, Diddy faces questions about his alleged role in Tupac's passing after being mentioned 77 times in a new legal filing, as the police noted Diddy was also a part of the Crips, just like Snoop Dogg was, which Suge Knight was trying to pin Tupac's passing on. But they also noted that on November 18th, 1995, Tupac was photographed with Sean Diddy Combs' baby mom, Sarah Chapman. Diddy's on record saying Sarah was the one, his dream girl. So when she got with Tupac, Diddy did not like it. This resulted in his first attempt of having Tupac dealt with.
I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in A-Vision. I only got shot once because they found the bug. The police found it, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work.
As with his first attempt being a failure, he would then try again. In the Diddy trial, it was announced, former LAPD cop claims Diddy had Tupac dealt with for $1 million. Suge retaliated by having Biggie dealt with. As court records revealed, Diddy hired Keefe D to get Tupac. He then walked around for 20 years free after doing the crime, but the police finally arrested him, and he did an interrogation. During this interrogation, he did not know he was being recorded. He literally confessed Diddy was the lead man of the crime when trying to go home early.
On all 4 of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those 4 is it when you talk to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
As Keefe D, the hired man to do the crime, said everything was Diddy's wish, and he even mentioned it was a lot easier than he thought. This would get the attention of a writer. His name is historian Jeff Pearlman. He wrote the famous Tupac biography, and he claimed that Tupac was not as tough as he portrayed. He was just playing a role, saying that he couldn't fight and didn't know how to even use a firearm.
Because he died because all these guys sold him this lifestyle idea, but he wasn't it. He couldn't fight. He had no athleticism. He didn't know how to shoot. He wasn't that guy, but he started to believe it.
He method acted it.
100% method acted it.
With all of this going viral, with Diddy being outed as the lead man of the crime, 50 Cent would react to it while on stage.
I hate when they leave me to talk because I always say the wrong thing. I always say the wrong thing. Last time they left me, I said something about Puffy. You saw that? You saw that clip? Yeah! I gotta stop doing that kind of shit. I've been talking to a therapist trying to help me with the I'm saying. I said crazy shit. No reason. Oh wait, maybe I said it to my boyfriend because he got Tupac killed.
But because Diddy is a part of the same street team that Snoop Dogg is, everyone is claiming Snoop Dogg also had an involvement. He would have known this crime was going down if Diddy was a part of it. So fans would want more concrete evidence knowing Diddy was involved. This is when a viral clip would go around of the Breakfast Club confronting Diddy about being responsible for Tupac, and the room got very awkward.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
But then on the last 3 pages of the new police file, this is where Keefe D would write out exactly how Tupac was taken out by Diddy's wish, with Snoop Dogg's involvement being very suspicious. It was written on September 7th, 1996. Tupac was in Las Vegas with the head of his record label named Suge Knight. The two were off to the MGM Grand to watch a Mike Tyson match, as after it was over, when they were exiting the arena, they spotted an op in the lobby of the arena.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and 2 of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
As Keefe D would reveal, the lookout that was sitting in the lobby of the arena that ran into Tupac was also a part of the Blue Street team. Once again, someone who had connection to Snoop. But security would break up the altercation between Tupac, Suge, and the ops. Tupac and Suge then needed to go back to their hotel to change their clothes when going off to a club to party it up at around 11 p.m. As the two would hop into the black BMW, pulling out of the parking lot and then driving down the Las Vegas Strip. While driving down, they had very loud music playing, their windows rolled down, getting the attention of everybody on the street. But then they would hit a red light, being stopped, nowhere to go. A vehicle being driven by Keefe D would pull up right beside Tupac.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
It would be this moment where Tupac would sadly pass. Suge Knight would also be affected with the incident. Meanwhile, Keefe D's vehicle sped away from the scene. The aftermath of the incident, though, was a mystery for 2 decades. The police had no idea who was involved until Keefe D began doing public interviews. He would first do an interview with DJ Vlad. He would detail the moments of literally finding Tupac, pulling up on him, and doing the crime. Self-snitching at its finest.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. We was gonna go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He was hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
And if that wasn't bad enough, Keefe D would then explain that it all happened so fast because Tupac was seen reaching for his own firearm, which led into the man sitting behind Keefe D in their vehicle to pull out theirs and do the act first.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually...
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started at Tupac and Suge.
As a reminder, the police, they couldn't solve this crime for 20 years. Keefe D came on in 1 week, solved the entire crime for them, which is why the police didn't arrest him immediately. They wanted to see if he would continue doing more interviews, and he did. There was one interview where the interviewer was skeptical on his involvement, so Keefe D would share a never-before-seen police interrogation on the night the crime went down. The police literally let him go.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you.
Yeah.
He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looked at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out
in
of
the back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre.
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
During the police's investigation, they also found another interview where Keefe D did a reaction to Tupac's passing, which shows his true emotions.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. Cause it took a lot of people's lives, dude. I hate that happen. Probably to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. It never happened, dude.
But this is what makes the Tupac passing case extremely odd. There was a subsection in the files with evidence proving that Tupac could still be alive, which could make the reason as to why they didn't pursue the passing even further. As in 2010, there's a rapper named Tretch. Tretch and Tupac were very close friends way back in the day, and they even worked on a few albums together, but here's where it gets weird. After Tretch's interview, the cameraman forgot to stop recording. He placed his camera onto the floor, and in the footage, you can hear the interviewer asking him about Tupac, to which Tretch responds, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba."
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question.
Nobody knows.
Y'all good? Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man.
Last time I saw him, he was in Tretch.
Then only 1 week later, a video would be released onto a news website showing a video of Tupac supposedly chilling in a parking lot inside of Cuba.
Look, zoom in. That's Pac, man. He with the outlaws. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
But what really threw the police off is when Suge Knight would do multiple interviews exposing that Tupac is still alive. There was one particular interview that made it very convincing. He would reveal Tupac was doing fine in the hospital before his passing, stating in quote, "When I left that hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking. I don't see how someone can turn from doing so well to doing bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
But what's weird about it is that Tupac was supposedly in a very deep sleep when arriving to the hospital. So how in the world would he and Suge be laughing if Tupac was sleeping? It doesn't seem to add up. However, in a 2008 interview, 10 years apart, Suge Knight said the exact same thing, that Tupac was alive.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
But then only 2 weeks later, when Suge leaked that information in that interview, he almost lost his own life at a nightclub when a man used a firearm in only his direction 6 times. Suge Knight was hesitant to tell the police anything. He immediately knew that it was likely due to him talking about Tupac, but what's even weirder is that Suge Knight's son, Suge Jr., made the same mistake. In 2018, Suge Jr. took it to Instagram stating Tupac was alive and living in Malaysia. After Suge Jr. posted it, he then posted another photo to Instagram showing a text conversation where someone said, "You have said too much, it's now time for you to go," posting several photos of Tupac alongside modern day celebrities in a panic. He wanted the information out in case somebody was coming for him. On the photo of Tupac and Beyonce, he captioned it, "He never left us, but they'll be after me soon." But do you believe Tupac is still alive, or do you believe it was a rap industry hit? Comment down below who you believe is responsible, and leave a like if you're a fan of Tupac.